Good morning again. God bless you. Looking forward to a fantastic week serving the Lord and serving His people and going that little bit more in the extra mile. Sometimes our life can become more important than life of another person, whatever condition they are in, whatever circumstances they are in. Our story from Luke chapter 11 of what we know as the Good Samaritan, good neighbor, begins by talking about two religious people, a priest and a Levite. Now, we sometimes are hard on these religious people. They were genuine, wanting to please and honor God. But it turned out that their religion and their effort to please and honor God got in the way of reaching out to this desperate poor soul on the roadside because they simply passed by this man who was beaten, battered, and bruised, bleeding to death. Their religion got in the way of helping this desperate soul. Perhaps for two reasons: that they just simply passed by and were not prepared to go the extra mile to reach out to this desperate poor soul. Perhaps they were too fearful because this road that Jesus spoke of was known as the way of blood, and there was lots of muggers. And so to stop may put themselves and their belongings at risk if they were to go in to try and help this man. After all, things couldn't get any worse for this man anyway. So I might as well have just left him. And you got to think about your own safety first sometimes. Sometimes we may not face the danger that this Pharisee and this priest and Levite may have faced. But we sometimes can allow the fear of rejection, the fear of being known as a Christian, the fear of being mocked, stand in the way of reaching out to the poor, desperate souls that are around us, whether we're just simply speaking the gospel or whether we're practically seeking to serve them. But perhaps for these two particular, religion got in the way. Their holiness, their desire for God got in the way. They were clearly engaged in religious duties. And to help this man was an unspiritual distraction. To actually spend time with him when they could be spending time with God was a distraction. Also, the man may have been dead, and to touch something that is dead would have made them unclean. They have to watch their own spiritual well being at the expense of this poor, desperate soul. It seemed their life was more important than a life that lay before them desperate and in need. Listen, don't be too fearful. When greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, don't be too fearful to go the extra mile. Don't be too fearful of being inconvenienced. And don't be too spiritual that you can't reach out to the poor and desperate soul who may F and blind, who may even rob. But listen, going that extra mile can save a life. God bless you. Have a fantastic week and go the extra mile for Jesus. Amen.